Want to get creeped out? Welcome to Just a Little Stitious,
where things go bump in the night and sometimes it's just your fridge. Or it's us tripping over the furniture.
or it's something terrifying lurking in the dark. So guys, we are back after a 2-week hiatus. Hi,
Tell a friend.
I'm Megan.
I'm Jess.
We're sisters. Yeah, we weren't here for 2 weeks because my landlord decided that they're selling the house that my wife and I rent, and then our basement flooded. So it's been fun. And today we are going to talk about some really crazy superstitions, and then we are going to talk about a crazy, creepy, haunted cabin in the woods. And I also want to say that for most of July, our episodes will be all creepy games and rituals. So if that's your thing, celebrate, because it's coming to you.
It's going to be so good. I'm very excited.
So I have 13 bizarre superstitions that I want to share with you guys. I actually watched this on the History Channel, and it was really funny because they said something along the lines of being not superstitious, but just a little stitious. So I was like, oh my God, this is meant for us. There is an old Dutch superstition that singing at the dinner table attracts evil spirits. Same in Bohemia and North Carolina.
I do that all the time.
Well, that's probably why your house is haunted. Once the sun sets in Japan, Korea, Turkey, or India, you are strongly advised not to cut your nails. In Turkey and India, it's considered bad luck. And in Japan, it puts you at risk for ending your life prematurely. In Korea, if you cut your nails in the dark, which also that's kind of dangerous, the clippings will fall on the floor, rats will eat them, and then the rats will turn into a monstrous version of you and terrorize you in your bed.
Oh my God.
Yeah, kind of a wild superstition.
That's a crazy one.
It is.
Oh my God.
In Turkey, whistling at night summons the devil. In Estonia and Latvia, whistling indoors will bring bad luck and set the house on fire. In Russia, whistling can lead to financial ruin.
Must be why I have so many problems.
Because you're whistling and singing at the dinner table.
I'm whistling and singing all over the place.
I'm not a big whistler.
I like to whistle.
In Japan, if you're in a cemetery or near a funeral procession, tuck away your thumb. In Japanese, the word thumb translates to parent finger. So tucking away your thumb into your fist protects your parents from the spirit of death.
Both thumbs or just one?
Both.
Both. Feels weird.
Yeah. Don't wear red in the Philippines during a storm because it increases your chance of being struck by lightning. You're making yourself a fun, moving target for the gods.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that kind of funny, though?
That is kind of funny. Thanks, Jesus.
The gods are watching you. You're wearing red, and they're like,
bang.
Zeus is like, lightning right to you. In South Korea, sleeping in a closed room with an electric fan will leave you dead by morning. This likely came from the 1970s, when the South Korean government released anti-fan propaganda to stop people from using energy. The theory is that the fan's blades chop up oxygen and turn it into carbon dioxide, making the air impossible to breathe and therefore fatal. And a lot of people believed this. Okay, next. In Turkey, don't chew gum after the sun goes down because it turns into the human flesh of the dead.
Yum. Oh my God. Hell yeah.
I kind of love that.
I like that one too. I would love to just be chewing gum, even though I don't chew gum, but I would just to get the flavor change.
Totally.
Spearmint to rotting flesh.
Well, hopefully it's not rotting.
Or just
could
flesh.
be fresh flesh. I don't know.
We should come up with a gum line.
Fresh flesh. That's such a good idea. Oh my
We
God.
should.
I love it.
Flavor it. We should honestly look into that and get weird flavors. People love that shit.
Yeah, we could have a blood one. I don't want it to actually taste like blood though.
Just a hint.
Just a
salty taste.
Like a dark paranormal themed gum line.
Yeah.
Except don't steal our ideas if there's any people who make gum out there watching.
Yeah. This is trademark.
Yeah. We're going to patent this. Okay. Next. Okay. What?
Ghostly chews.
Yes, I love it. Ghostly gum. Ghostly gum. In Iceland, it's believed that knitting outdoors during winter can prolong winter. So don't do it.
No. Yeah. That's fucked.
In Spain, eat 12 grapes on New Year's Eve for good luck, but specifically 1 per second as the last 12 seconds of the year countdown. If you chew and swallow all 12 grapes, you will have good luck. If you do not succeed, you will have bad luck.
Do you have to chew it or can you just swallow them? I mean, you could choke, but
yeah, I don't know.
12 grapes. Can you eat more than one at once?
No, 1 per second. And I'm going to tell anyone listening, chew. Okay?
Yeah,
we don't want to be sued for
them.
anyone choking.
Yeah, chew them. Absolutely. I would slice them in half maybe, then do a swallow.
And then just
two at a time.
Smart.
2 at a time. It's less likely to get lost.
I think I would practice all year.
Maybe 4. I'd cut it the long way into 4, the long way, and do that because then they're for sure. I'm not choking on that.
Smart.
That'll slide right down my gullet.
Right down the gobbler.
Right down.
In India, everyone stays inside during a solar eclipse or hides in their cars. The belief is that the sun's rays become toxic during the event. Newspapers even warn people to stay indoors on these days. Some people even fast for the entire day in case the sun's rays has poisoned their food. However, some people believe that burying a child in sand up to their neck during a solar eclipse will cure them of any ailments they may have. That one is probably one of the most bizarre I've ever heard.
Yeah, like stay inside because it's super dangerous unless you have like so many problems, and then we'll bury you in sand and let the rays
up
fix
to the
you.
neck. But a child specifically. Yeah, okay.
That's crazy.
Say rabbit, rabbit on the 1st of the month. You'll have good luck for the next 30 days because rabbits are a symbol of good luck in many cultures. And it's supposed to be the first words you say.
Like when you wake up in the morning or at like midnight or something.
Yeah, like as of that day.
That makes sense though.
I'm going to try
I'm going to try that
July
too.
1st.
July 1st. I'm going to stay up till midnight.
Mirrors facing the bed are believed to cause nightmares and soul stealing. This is because when we sleep at night, our soul leaves the body, and when it sees its own reflection, it gets startled, hence the bad dreams. Or when the soul returns to the body, it may mistake the reflection for the body. Does this mean your soul could get stuck in the mirror?
I don't fuck around with mirrors in my house.
Yeah.
Can't.
This is from the Chinese practice feng shui, and this is the last one. During the 1930s in Syria, they were not supposed to play with yo-yos. They were experiencing a drought and extreme cold, and it was believed that the upwards and downwards motion of the yo-yo was counteracting the prayers for the rain. Police were sent into the streets to confiscate all yo-yos.
No fun for you guys.
That one's so random.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
That's
kind of a wild one there. So this story is a haunting, and it's also really sad. I'm going to preface with that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a sad one. Trigger warning for child abuse. So this is about a person named Hannah. She was born in Juneau, Alaska, but moved to Montana when she was 13 years old. She had a rough childhood. She had very strict Christian fundamentalist parents. They went to church every Sunday and had Bible study every day.
Wow.
And her mom was a stay-at-home housewife. They lived in an isolated location, and her mom was abusive. One time, Hannah was playing outside and her mom told her to stop. And her mom put her in the basement, tied her to a chair, and tied fabric around her mouth so she had to be quiet. So she gagged her. She was left in the dark until her dad came home about 4 or 5 hours later. Her mom told her that her duty in life was to humble herself before God. And when Hannah became a teenager, she started to question what her parents were teaching her, and this led to a lot of conflict. When she was 15, she got a job at a pizza place and made some decent friends. One time they were drinking, and her mom drove up and found cigarettes where they were drinking. Her mom slapped Hannah across the face with her purse in front of her friends, and it split Hannah's lip open. When Hannah's mom told her to come with her, Hannah spit blood on her mom's shoe. This is intense right away, isn't it?
Yeah, but also like fair.
Yeah, like this is just kind of demonstrating how Hannah ends up where she ends up. So a coworker that was there confronted Hannah's mom and told her she had to leave and that they were going to call the cops and child services. Hannah was actually able to petition to a judge to emancipate herself.
Good.
So she took her stuff from her room and that was it. Through this, she wound up meeting a disabled veteran named Jesse through a mutual friend. And he had seen bruises on Hannah's neck. She was now emancipated and he needed help around the house. So Hannah moved in with him to help and to basically get away from her parents. She was very thankful for him, and Jessie says the same about her. They're still friends to this day. It was early fall, and she had no income and couldn't find work. So Jessie's friend Drew offered Hannah a job on a cannabis farm in California. It was a new experience and a new culture for her, and it was also a shock, just completely different from the life she had lived.
Yeah.
She felt like it was really happy, positive, and a welcoming place, and it felt like family to her. Drew and Hannah started to realize that they had feelings for each other. And in her words, they fell for each other hard. They ended up moving into his main house together, which was a rickety logging house. And she was really excited by this. It was a whole new feeling of adventure and happiness. This is basically like a cabin in the woods, right? That's where they're living.
Right.
So they moved in together, and the next morning, Drew left because he had 4 gardens to go tend, and he would be gone for 2 to 3 days. So he was gone. Hannah was alone in the house, and she started cleaning around the cabin. She found this, which she describes as like a dead space in the wall that didn't make sense with the layout of the house. Like if you looked at the house from the outside, it didn't make sense that there was nothing behind the wall.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Got it.
She didn't investigate it too much because she didn't want to be nosy. But when Drew got back and they were hanging out and talking, she told him about it and showed it to him. And she felt like there was something behind the wall. So Drew grabbed a chainsaw and cut into the wall, and they discovered there was a room behind it. It smelled bad inside. At one point, it had actually been a shower.
Like a bathroom or just like a shower?
A shower.
Huh, interesting. That's like so weird.
What was also
the shower room.
Well, what was weirder was there was an O-ring on the ceiling, like something you would attach a meat hook to. Weird, right?
That is weird.
The floor was also covered in old razor blades, which didn't make sense. And not like razors, but razor blades.
Yeah, it's obviously like a torture chamber.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Obviously, because there's a shower, there's a drain. And they're like, okay, where does this drain to? So they went into the basement and they were looking around. Hannah went up on a shelf by the water heater. And behind the water heater, someone had dug a path and a set of tunnels opened up that went further back into the house. This is crazy, right?
Yeah. Is this underground? Like this is in the basement?
This is in the basement.
Obviously, it's a tunnel. Duh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
They went through the tunnels and discovered there was a bucket underneath where the shower drain led. There were no pipes from the drain. It just dropped open into the bucket. The bucket contained a black gelatinous substance that looked like clotted blood that had been there for like 20 years, like a long time.
Yummy.
There was also a small room down there that had the remains of a mattress. So whatever this house was used for, not good. Something evil.
Yeah.
Hannah felt like someone had been kept down there and thought maybe a serial killer had lived there at some point.
Yeah. Okay.
After this discovery, the energy in the house changed and weird things started happening. One night, Drew and Hannah were being intimate when Hannah started to hear music. They didn't have a stereo or a TV though. So Drew went down to the main floor and found the front door open. Hannah started calling for Drew and went down to the main floor herself when Drew jumped out and scared her from behind with a chainsaw and was like doing it as a practical joke. She was not happy with him.
I'd be pretty upset.
She was super pissed at him.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
But they had both heard the music and both felt like there was an intense negative energy present.
Well, and I'm assuming this cabin is like fairly secluded, right? Like no neighbors, no...
Yeah.
Okay.
Hannah became tired of having a creepy potential murder room in the house, so they decided to board it back up and repaint everything. While repainting, Hannah felt a pain at the back of her neck and found blood there. So one night she got up from bed and realized that she was covered in deep bleeding cuts. She actually immediately was like, "What did you do to me?" to Drew. She was like, "What did you do?" And he was like, "I didn't do this."
Deep cuts?
Yeah.
And they were everywhere?
On her body, yeah.
What the fuck? That's something demonic.
So he woke up and he was like obviously freaked out by her.
And he wasn't cut.
And he was. Actually, he had the same cuts on him too.
Oh.
And the cuts looked like they were made by razor blades. Right? Weird.
Yeah.
They were all over their upper torsos and arms. And the next night, they woke up with more cuts.
Jesus.
Like, it just also didn't make sense that they would sleep through something like this, right? Like, you would wake up to that. So it's really weird.
That is really weird.
I mean, I did wake up to a big scratch on my face, but...
That is true.
Which I'll tell that story after.
Oh, yeah.
So they obviously suspected that this was connected to the shower room because there had been so many old razor blades on the ground there.
They obviously, like, when they cut open the wall, they opened
something up or, like, just stirred something.
Pissed them off.
Yeah. So Hannah was extremely freaked out at this point and started talking to Drew and saying, like, we should seriously consider moving.
Mm-hmm.
Drew came up with a plan. It's not a good plan. He thought that the energy was angry because it was trapped, and he believed that he could channel it through himself and release it so that it could be at peace.
What qualifies you to do that?
Right.
Like, Jesus Christ, don't do that.
No.
Can't do stuff like that.
And Hannah and him got into a huge fight about this. She went into the bedroom, slammed the door shut, and locked it. She was like, you're not coming in here. She went to sleep and woke up later, was like, hey, I'm going to go look for Drew. It was nighttime though. She went downstairs, and what was happening really freaked her out. Drew was walking around repeating, Hannah, feed the house. The house is hungry. Feed the house. The house is hungry. The house demands blood.
Jesus.
It was almost like he was like in a psychosis, like walking around. Hannah, feed the house. The house is hungry. Feed the house. The house is hungry. The house demands blood. And he was pacing around. Hannah told him to stop, but he wouldn't. And he was panting.
Ew.
Like while he was doing
Yuck.
this.
I hate a panter.
Weird. He then bent over on the floor, still repeating it, and Hannah went up to him, and it was like he just suddenly snapped out of it. He was obviously shocked, like, what is going on? And he literally just left. He got in his vehicle.
Just left her there?
And just left. Obviously, this is like devastating for Hannah. And while he was gone, she walked up to the boarded wall and started hearing music again.
Oh my God.
While Drew...
Damon's got a boombox.
Well, I don't think it's that kind of music.
Like chanting?
It's like, no, like creepy, like a creepy old country song, but like not like a good country song, like a creepy one.
Okay.
Yeah. So Drew actually got into an accident while he was gone. He veered into the wrong lane and hit another vehicle, and he was not wearing his seatbelt, and he passed away at the scene.
What?
Yeah.
He dies?
Yes, yeah. I said this one's sad.
Holy fuck. I can't believe he died. What?
Yeah, I know. This one's crazy.
That happened so quick.
I know. This isn't a long one.
I can't believe it.
Hannah called her old friend Jessie to tell him what happened, and he came and picked her up. Drew's mom had him cremated, and Hannah still has some of his ashes. She misses him so much. She feels like there was something evil inside that house that took his life.
That's so upsetting too, because the last thing at the house would have been she was all pissed off, leaves. She comes back and he's like doing some weird possessed thing. That's very sad.
How she leaves her story, like she says something that's just very chilling. She says the house definitely got its blood. Because remember, he was like chanting that weird thing.
Oh.
Super creepy. But that is it. But it's just a really crazy, crazy story.
I can't believe he died.
I know. Yeah.
You know what? It's so sad. If you're ever at a house and there's like a fake wall or there's something, just leave it alone.
I wouldn't be able to.
Leave it alone. Don't look into it too
You
much.
would be like, I'm not going to look into it. Really? I would not be able
I would maybe
to
wait.
stop myself.
I would maybe wait. And then if I'm going to move or something, then maybe check it out. Or have some construction workers go in and I would leave for a while. But yeah, no, I would leave it alone. Curiosity killed the cat.
And I'm the cat.
Yeah.
Well,
that's fucked up.
Since that was a short one, I will talk about what's been going on with me and this doll. I didn't bring her, so I'll show a picture of her. Close your eyes if you don't want to see her for 5 seconds. So I collect haunted dolls. Do I know that they're all haunted? No. Some people say they're haunted. I investigate them. I use EMF meters, REM pods, Mel meters. All the things. And I see if I can collect data that makes sense. And sometimes I do. And I'm like, maybe there is an attachment here. But because I like old dolls, my wife brought me one home from the thrift store recently. It's not supposed to be haunted. She just thought I would like it. She doesn't even believe in the paranormal, which is like,
I know.
whatever. But anyway, she brought it home for me. Shortly after she brought it home, I had a sleep paralysis episode. In the sleep paralysis episode, the doll was there. And I thought that was weird, but I kind of just brushed it off and didn't think much of it. Then I had another sleep paralysis episode and I woke up with a scratch on my eye. Here's the photo of that. Could I have done this to myself? Potentially, yes. It's a weird shape. I don't know. Okay. And it was also just weird that it was after a sleep paralysis episode, but who knows? Then I went on a trip from hell.
Yeah.
Worst trip of my life. It really sucked. And as soon as I got back, the day I got back, because I didn't get back until like 3 or 4 in the morning. You get back, you don't go to sleep right the second you get home. So I didn't end up going to sleep until like 5 in the morning, at least. So it was during the day. My fingers, for some reason, were swollen. So I took off my wedding rings. So that part is important and keep that in your noggin. I had sleep paralysis. It started out, though, not as sleep paralysis. It started out as a dream, and I was dreaming about this weird haunted house. In this creepy house, there was someone that I knew, and there was a baby crying, and they were like, can you go get the baby? So I went into the room where the baby was crying. This is just, it's really weird, and it might not be important, but I just want to share it. So the baby was like almost in between the bed and like the wall, like in the crack, but it was okay. But it was just weird.
Yeah.
But the same person, I don't want to say who it actually was in the dream,
Okay.
but it was Dad. Okay. We'll call them
Ron.
Call them Ron. So Ron had told me to go get the baby. I go get the baby, and when I go to get the baby, Ron is laying in the bed, which wouldn't make sense because Ron was just in a different room telling me to go get the baby. So I'm like, okay, there's 2 Rons. One has to be like a mimic or a doppelganger.
Yeah.
So I go and I grab the baby from in the crack of the bed, and I turn around to leave out the door, and the first Ron is standing like in my way. And I'm like, uh-oh, like this isn't good. Suddenly turns to sleep paralysis. I'm back in my room. There's an entity in the room. I'm getting, for some reason, the name Marianne, which is interesting because we also had psychics who told us this doll's name was Mary, and then another one got like the name that starts with an A.
Yeah.
So Marianne would make sense. For some reason, there was an entity there. I knew it was attached to the doll. I didn't know how I knew it. I just did. Also, there was this voice during my sleep paralysis. I think it was a man's voice. And the man was saying, why did you take off your wedding rings? Those are your protection. Those are your faith. And I was like, what? And then he said something about God and religion. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but I'm also not like religious. So this really weirded me out. But for some reason, I was so scared in this sleep paralysis episode, even though I've had way scarier, that I actually started praying.
Oh my God.
Not like out loud, but like in my head. Like I'm like, please God, like whatever. I don't know. It was weird. And I've never done that before. So then like Corley's beside me. She's asleep. And I'm trying to get out of this sleep paralysis. I'm trying to scream. I'm trying to say, help me. And I actually am able to say the words like, help me twice, but like not like, help me. I'm like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm having sleep paralysis. She heard me and actually woke me up. And I've never had this happen before. I've never been able to like alert someone to be like, I'm having sleep paralysis. Help me.
Yeah.
So she woke me up. Things were fine. I was very creeped out. Later that day, we're chatting in our Discord. I am telling some of our friends in there about what happened and my sleep paralysis. Our friend Tony is like, you should put a circle of salt around her. The second I get that message and read it, she falls off of the dresser that she's on. I obviously don't have a video of it because
it just happened.
I wasn't expecting it. But I did take 2 quick pictures because as soon as it happened, my one dog, June, went and ran up to the doll.
Yeah.
So I have a picture of that and I have a picture of her on the floor. Here it is. Don't look if you don't want to see it. And then I think that night, our light thing that's not a like I feel like a chandelier
light
is like fancy.
No.
Well, here's a video of it because I have a video of it, but it was moving by itself. And that never happens.
That's so weird.
You actually have to hit it for it to move. Like it doesn't move from movement in the house.
Like heavy.
Yeah. Like if like windows weren't open, but if they had been, like the AC was on, it doesn't move from that. Like, so it was really weird that it was just swinging, I would say. Nothing's happened since though. So
that's so creepy.
I don't know. And like, I usually don't immediately go and like assume it's because of the doll, but it was just really weird timing.
Very coincidental.
Yeah. And then there are like a couple of psychics in our Discord too.
Yeah.
So I sent a picture of the doll and I was like, what's your vibes from this? And like I said, there was the name Mary. Then someone had like also said the name that starts with an A. One of the girls said that she felt like there was like red X's on the doll's eyes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Like she was seeing red X's and
so creepy.
And then we did do an investigation too on a live of that doll, but it didn't give away much, I don't feel. We didn't get much information from that.
Yeah.
I was using the spirit box and the F word, not the swear, but the F
The
derogatory term
one.
did come through, which I'm obviously gay. So I was like, that's weird.
That was so weird.
I even listened to it afterwards because I'm like, is that for sure what it said? And that is for sure what it said. And then we also had like some of our psychic friends watching the live and like, you know, they said they feel like there's multiple attachments to the doll. I don't know. I talk about this, that I struggle to feel validated about my paranormal experiences. Like I question them myself. So does this doll have attachments? I don't know. I just know that
it's freaking creepy.
Yeah. And there's some strange things afoot.
Yeah. That's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Yeah. So that's what's been going on. We have a follower story here. It's a short one and it is from Megan. Same name as me. Anyways, my name is Megan. I am obsessed with the podcast. TTT, thank you.
What does this mean?
I don't know. It's like clapping basically, but like,
I always see everyone doing this.
It's like, yeah, good job.
Yeah, I'm not going to get in on that one.
I'm fun. I'm young. I'm cool. I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom, even though I'm not a mom. I do have pets. Anyway, she says it's her go-to entertainment. She has several stories she could share, and she's thought about sending one in before, but she could never decide what experience to share. Most are from when she was younger, because she was very sensitive to the spiritual side of things. Ooh, this is cool. Okay. I'm going to read it in first person now.
Okay.
I am a mortuary science and funeral service student.
I love it.
And I am so intrigued by everything that you guys talk about. This past weekend, I went to a cemetery with my boyfriend to walk and explore. When we first arrived, I felt drawn to one headstone in particular from the 1800s, and I got a calm sense from it. As we walked, I encountered a mausoleum and another headstone that I felt stood out. Yet it brought a sense of heaviness. Closer to the end, I walked past 3 headstones under a tree that gave me the most dreadful feeling with a sense that I was being watched. While I wanted to add this in, this was not the main part of the story. When we first arrived, we heard several loud booms, and my boyfriend said it was probably fireworks, but he mentioned it kind of sounded like a cannon. This is important later on. About 30 minutes after walking around, he stops dead in his tracks and says, "Megan, do you see that?" I looked forward and saw several headstones that listed military involvement on them, and in the middle was a giant memorial that had a cannon. I'll list a picture. We left shortly after. On the way home, I had music on, but it was turned all the way down due to us talking. After we finished our conversation, I turned up the volume and the song that came on was Cannonball by Zach Bryan. This was such an interesting experience. Was it a coincidence? Maybe, but I feel like it was something deeper. Yet it did not feel bad or dreadful. Let me know if you would like to hear any other stories I have, and feel free to reach out with any questions. Kindly, Megan.
We do want to hear more stories.
Yeah, so I'm going to post the picture here. And yes, we do want to hear more stories. That is a weird coincidence. Yeah, I think something was like...
Maybe trying to get your attention.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially since you were sensitive. Cool field.
Yeah. I love
that you're going into. I love to hear that as someone who like is I'm not saying I'm a sensitive. Like I love to hear that you as a sensitive are doing that.
Yes. Yeah. I love it.
I feel like this is a really short episode, but hopefully you guys liked it, and hopefully you are ready for creepy games and rituals coming up. Anyways, that is it for this one. But if you liked this, you could, subscribe, follow us, check out our Instagram, follow us on TikTok, follow us on all the things, be our friend, check out our Patreon.
And send us emails. Send us your spooky, weird, creepy, interesting stories to justalittlestitiouspod@gmail.com.
Yes, do that. Okay.
Bye.
Oh, you're so loud sometimes.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Just a Little Stitious. If you like stories like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And before you go to bed tonight, make sure to check under your bed. Just in case that sound you heard wasn't the fridge.